And just like that, let me correct this. Let me correct this. Okay, hold on. Itches. You can't reference my bad. Anyway, welcome to Key and Carrie. I'm Troy. Unfortunately, Yan isn't able to join me this afternoon for this wonderful live review of Chasing Motherfucking Dallas, brought to you by the Chasing Reality Team. Um, Chasing Orlando, season 2, episode 3, baby. Switch up. Before we get into that, shout out to everybody who is going to join me on this wonderful cold ass Saturday. Shout out to everybody who is going to watch this on the playback. Please let me know in the comments if you can hear me, cause like I would be very distraught. I always say this, but like I have headphones and I kind of don't have anybody to let me know like if they can hear me. So if you guys can hear me, like I don't have a co-host to let me know like if they can hear me. I'm not digging this light. Let me get myself together and I will be right back. Right back. Right. Okay, that's better. Um it was giving like oh, so we're doing okay, it's a lot going on right now. Chasing motherfucking Orlando people. I'm sorry, when I'm solo, it's just a lot going on right now. So again, Damon won't be joining me this afternoon. My bitch had prior engagement, so shout out to him out there in Chicago getting his life, baby. I told him be wary of the ICE. No Kelly Rowland. Cause they out there running rampant and we ain't got time for that shit. So my bitch is in Chicago living his best life. Shout out to Damon, shout out to Yon. Much love. Shout out to the people who are going to join me on this live. Shout out to people who are gonna watch this on the playback. Motherfucking Chasing Orlando, season 2, episode 3, the switch up. My girl Miss Eve is in the motherfucking building. Shout out to Miss Eve for being in the building. Thank you for being here, baby. I want to say we're about to get into some things, but we kind of are. In my opinion, also let me know how you guys feel about this episode. If you guys watched it, this is probably one of the best produced episodes of any chasing franchise that I watched. Like this episode was like extremely. It was like so well balanced. Like it fed me. Like this episode was so fucking good. Like no drama. Like not an argument. I said, oh my god. Like yes, thank you, Miss E. Because there were people in the chasing comments like, oh, this is all over the place. This is boring. There's a fly in my room, and I'm telling you, when I catch this bitch, when I catch you, bitch, when I fucking catch you, rest in peace to my girl BK Tidalway. But when I catch this fly, I'm telling you, baby, a whole can of motherfucking bear mace in his motherfucking face. Anywho, chasing or is this Mr. Mr. Is that Fabio? That is Mr. Fabio. Shout out for being here, Mr. Fabio. Shout out to everybody who is in the building. Shout out to people again who are going to watch this on the playback. I'm excited because this is such a good fucking episode. Like this episode was so goddamn good. Like I said, there was no drama, no arguing. Um, this episode was just positive from start to finish, and I really enjoyed that. Like there was some shade thrown across, but what's the episode without friendly and light shade like thrown at each other, baby? That's kind of how you carry, and that's kind of how you at least for me, in my opinion, you light shade is just always gonna carry. It's just always just gonna be like that. Now, some people can throw shade, and like Damon said, some people don't know how to throw shade. But this episode, very lighthearted. I enjoyed it. Upbeat. Let me know how you guys feel. Um, Cocoa Puff Zero. Ooh, Cocoa Puff 0420, baby. That 420, I feel that. I feel that now. The comment reads, the scene legit made me feel she changed who she is because of her family. It was sad, but if that's what she wants to be with her identity, we gotta accept it. True. I kind of got that. I feel like me being a cisgender man, I feel like I kind of have to watch what I say when I comment on like um transgender people because I don't want to come across as insensitive. Definitely don't ever want to come across as insensitive. But I agree with your comment because we'll get into it. That whole scene was just like positive, of course. very positive. Like I want to say I love how this cast has like almost just like every cast member has like a strong ass like support system. Like and I think that's just outstanding. Like that's dope as fuck. Kind of makes me wish like when I was a teenager or like just growing up, just like watching this episode, hearing people's stories about their upbringing, like the support and love like their family and friends just poured into them to kind of make them confident and reassure them like you are who you are, you can't change and love yourself. So kind of makes me wish like I had that growing up. I have it now. And shout out to all of my people, my friends, my family who support and loving me. But this episode was so goddamn so good. So goddamn good. Um see? Thank you, Mr. Fabio. Mr. Fabio, baby, we gotta get you on for interview because we gotta get you on for interview. I'm gonna say your demeanor when you knocked the old boy, I wasn't too sure about you, but I kind of feel like this is the third episode. I kind of feel like this was like a redemption episode for like a lot of the new cast members. So still on the fence with a couple of the people, a couple of the new cast members. Let me say, because I kind of felt like they were saying some shit that was out of pocket. But um, I'm not gonna say I'll give them thumbs up or like I stand them, but I kind of see them in like a different light. But I saw exactly what you did there, Fabio. Maybe when I see you on Living for Mr. Fabio, um, Coco Puffs also said like she's being gaslit. Baby, we gonna get to it because this episode just brought so much. Um, it was just like a really, really good episode. A really, 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 really. His ease that Marlo still getting on. Yeah, we gonna talk about Miss Marlo with a K. Kind of doing a lot, but this episode she was kind of like toned down. So um, yeah. So getting into episode 3. Speaking of like turning down kind of all over the place again. But shout out to the people again who are gonna watch this on the playback. Shout out to people who are here kicking off this review with the episode opener. Cali Boy and Marco with the K. So I guess Marco, not I guess, but Marco is in Callie's makeup chair. She's getting her face beat. For Pablo's networking event. It's like, okay, the way this episode just flowed was just so great. But getting her face beat for Pablo's network event. Now I said, was it me or was Marlo's? Was her wig backwards? Was it because she did something like that, and I kind of saw like she did that, and I saw like, see, this is why I say me being a decision man. I don't really want to say too much and then seem insensitive, but it was just something that I peeped. Somebody in the comments and the chasing comments also saw it, but homegirl flipped her hair, and I saw like a tag, and I was like, oh, maybe it's a frontal. And I don't know, but somebody educate me, exclude me, let me know. Like, what was it giving? She flipped her hair, and I saw like the tag, the wig or whatever. Anywho, um, also, was it me or did this scene look orange as hell? Like, that's why I had to cut my camera and adjust my lighting so that I wasn't giving it no shade chasing. But this opening scene was extremely Chester Cheeto-ish. Very President 47. Well, I don't even call him a president, but very 47. 45 and 47 if you catch my drift. Very drift. So I if you catch my drift. So I didn't know what was going on, if it was the lighting. Um, but the makeup had my girl not my girl, sorry, but the makeup had Marlo looking orange. Sunny Delight tea, baby. No shade. Anywho, um I did say while I'm still on the fence about Marco, I think that it's really dope that she hit a support system prior to transitioning. She mentioned that Callie used to do her makeup back when she was in high school for like portraits and homecoming. And I was like, that's dope as fuck. First of all, it's really interesting to me that Marlo's mom being just so open and not really holding any prejudice would be like, oh, like I know this guy who's in the community and he can get your face together. So that itself was just kind of, I was like, I would like to see more of that. Like her tongue tied. Let me slow it down. Anywho, baby. Also, let me know what y'all sipping. You know it's in my cup, baby. That's why I'm so geeked right now, baby. You know it's in my cup. So let me slow it down. I'm doing like 85 and a 60, and I ain't got time for that, baby. I just don't got time for that. But I just want to say I think that it's cool as fuck for Marlo's mom to introduce her to Callie, and they still have this relationship almost like 10 years out of prior or 10 years post Marlo being out of like high school. So I think that's like dope. I think that's just not crazy, but it's just crazy as fuck that to have that relationship that long and for Marlo's mom to be like the kind of like the middleman to introduce them and there not be any prejudice with Callie being like a queer man and I thought that was shout out to that. Um so the follow up to the next thing, Pablo's all white networking event. Probably my favorite scene of the episode. Because there was just so much to pick from the scene, from like the group gathering. Um, I said first off, all white is all white. Like all white is not white and black and like white and green and blue and white. It's all white, baby. When you get to the pearly gates, you're gonna see people in black and white. Like, no, baby, this isn't all white. Anywho, I said shout out to the party, the network event attendees that followed direction and decorum and showed up in their all white because I saw Marlo in her white. I was also living for the Queen Akasha kind of braid that she had on her hair, but I was looking for the wig Marlo. Again, the networking event. This is kind of what me and Damon always talk about. These platforms kind of being a gateway to kind of build community and like bonds amongst the community. So like I applaud I always applaud people who are on like these platforms, whether it's like Chasing or the Circle or G Status. Shout out to G Status, baby. Wherever the G Status team is, please get y'all shit together, baby. I need G Status, and I know this seems a bit shady because G Status and Chasing used to have that little tiff back in the day, but baby, I miss my G Status. So like, again, the people who are on these platforms and who use these platforms for positive and to kind of spread community and kind of bring people on who are lesser known so that they can build their brand and all of that. I think that's dope as fuck. So shout out to Pablo for that. I thought that again, that was what these goddamn shows are about. So I overall thoroughly enjoyed the networking event. Um and then we get to see with Pablo and Remini. I was not expecting this. This is what also just kind of intrigued me more about this episode. They had a sit down, and I want to say like Pablo Remy, correct me if I'm wrong. They said that this sit down was the first time that they have seen each other since last season's reunion. And I was thinking, like, given how cordial y'all are right now, I kind of don't see this being like the first time that y'all talked. I don't think that this conversation was rehearsed, but this definitely was not the first time that y'all spoke following that reunion, especially when especially when Pablo gagged Remy with that goddamn wig. I said, "Oh no, baby, you can't close the casket on me like that." And this is the first time we're speaking. So I will say I loved how mature this conversation was. Just both of their demeanors was just very relaxed. Just I'm gonna let you speak. Nobody was talking over each other. It was very growth, baby. I was just living for the scene because I was not expecting this to just go so well. And I feel like this conversation is what added to just this episode just being so goddamn positive. Like there was other positive aspects and elements, but I kind of feel like Pablo is in his bag when it comes to chasing. Like he really wants this franchise and this cast to be like one. Sometimes it seems like it's almost like forced. Like I'm kind of I kind of sometimes don't know how to read Pablo. I feel like he kind of sometimes does stuff expecting people to kind of like pat him on the back or kind of like boasting, and it's like you know it's cool, but like homeboy, just let the situation be what it's gonna be. Like anywho, that's just how sometimes I read Pablo, but that doesn't take away from the fact that this event I feel like was probably one of the best events that um I've seen on any platform, like from a conversation with Remy and um Pablo, how mature and just their demeanor made me wonder. This conversation made me wonder if they had just how cordial they were, baby. You go from beefing to almost tearing each other's heads off to so let's sit down, let's have a conversation. And that's the growth that I'm looking for. I feel like a lot of people are, let me say, a lot of reality TV viewers are kind of consumed by drama and arguing and fights that when they don't see an argument or somebody going back and forth, it's like, oh, this episode is boring. And it's like, to each his own, but I really do not want an hour of people just arguing for no goddamn reason. So again, shout out to the Chasing Reality production team because this episode was fucking fire. No arguments or drama whatsoever fucking ever at this goddamn event. I was like, you bitches can actually do this? Like, and I mean, this is for all you bitches. Chasing, Dallas, Atlanta, um, the come up circle, like all of you grown bitches should learn how to get together under one roof and just copacetic woosah, baby. Smoke some reefer, call Keefa, smoke some reefer, bonfire, and just bang on some banjos or drums or whatever, baby. You play the banjo, you bang on the drums, whatever the fuck you want to do. But this event was top tier. Um, this event was top tier. So I have a question for you, audience. Listen. Now that's TV and Zeus can learn a lot. Now that's TV. They fight for sport. I want to say like some shows have structure, but 90% of the show is like don't fighting, like literally like beating the shit out of each other, like knocking each other faces up, eyes be screwed shut, mouths be leaking blood. Zeus is the same way. I can't take that away from Zeus, but I guess on Zeus the bag is bigger, so I'm not saying that's why it's okay to act an ass, but yeah, I guess on Zeus, acting ass because the bag is hefty. But on Zeus, I'm not Zeus. Now that's TV fighting for scraps. And that kind of goes back to what Damien and I always talk about people coming on these shows, and it's like you're kind of doing all of this for what? Anywho, yes, now that's TV, and Zeus could definitely take notes. Shout out to the people that are in the comments. Shout out to the people that are here. I do want to ask you guys, based on the outfits that we got at this all white networking event, who do you guys think was best dressed? Pablo, Marlo, Ao. I saw Ao in the white and green. Um, looking like, and this is gonna be shady because I kind of love Ao. So the white and green had him looking like a dollar bill that, and I wish Damon was here, but there was an episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob and Patrick were supposed to paint Mr. Krabs' house. Something about they got paint on the dollar, and Patrick scribbled like green on like it made it. That's what AO Slim. That's what Slim's fit kind of gave me. That dollar bill that Patrick drew on SpongeBob. Deep cut. I wish I had that visual right now, but I said that Mark, Mark Margiela, and his eyebrows. Um, was best dressed. It's the eyebrows for me. Um, Margiela and these eyebrows, these villainous eyebrows. These eyebrows have character, baby. Like, I feel like his eyebrows will probably remove themselves from his face and try to strangle you in your sleep. That's how evil his eyebrows are. Like, it's a mix of what did I say? It's a mix of bam. It's a mix of the Joker from Batman and a mix of him from the Powerpuff Girls. Just super evil, nasty, so evil, bitch. Them eyebrows is. I got a secret. Like, oh, I'm sorry, Mark. The outfit ate, but baby, them eyebrows. You should just shave your eyebrows. You know, I will say I'm glad that he didn't go the the extreme route and draw the motherfuckers on his face. Now that would be jarring, and also petty. I would kind of live for a drawing on exaggerated, drawn out eyebrows. Like that would give me life. Like that would give me life. So I feel like Mark was best dressed. Marlo looked really nice. Slim looked, everybody looked nice. B Baby, Max, everybody looked really nice. Which brings me to Callie. I live for Callie Boy. Callie is exactly who the fuck Callie thinks he is. Baby got this tongue ring in his mouth. And for me, I can't trust somebody with a tongue ring or color contacts. So the fact that Callie has a tongue ring in his mouth and I absolutely live for him might be something wrong with my mental. No shade. But I live for Callie. Like I said, Callie is exactly who he thinks he is. I see people comment. Yes, Pablo looked nice. I did say Pablo being not the host, but he's the person who kind of structured the event. So the person that the party planner is his event, and what would he be called? He's not the host. Anyway, since it's his event, and he kind of didn't follow directions. Pablo did look nice. I would probably give it to yeah, I said Mark. I'm really giving it to Mark mostly because of his eyebrows. But if Mark did not have those exaggerated ass eyebrows, I would probably go with B Baby or Marlo. But yeah, everybody looks good in their white. Sorry, my phone just freeze. There we go. There we go. My bad. Okay, this is why Yam be here to control the comments, baby. But Fabio says my initial jacket got messed up, so I had to improvise. I knew it would be off, so I prefer to be off but still look good. Then miss it. Okay, I get that. The green, it did look good on you. Was that green or was it like teal? It did. Everybody looked really, really nice. Like y'all did y'all big one, put it together. Cali. This brings me to Cali. Um, man. Okay, he would be the host. Is he? Okay, it's I thought he was a host. So the person that was on the red carpet asking questions, that would just be like a was it like an interviewer, correspondent. I thought that was the host. So okay, excuse my ignorance. My goodness. So Pablo being the host and not following decorum is like homeboy. You supposed to be in all white. He was in all white in the confessional, looking like somebody's cat daddy. I'm like, homeboy, how you in a confessional in all white, but you not at your event in all white? But each his own. Shout out to Pablo. I thought the event was amazing, but Callie was dressed like Pennywise. Pennywise would make it like a backup dancer. Baby the pants. Um, Pennywise, but make it Matador. That's what it was giving. Pennywise, but make it a Matador. All that was missing was the red whatever flag that they used to antagonize the bull. I love Cali, but I was like, homeboy, what is this? What is this, honey? Um, yeah, it was. I feel it was mess. I will say again, like this conversation, growth, self accountability. I saw a lot of that, or we saw a lot of that this episode. I was living for this conversation. Again, another conversation where nobody raised their voice. They saw eye to eye. Um, and they pretty much just squashed it. Like I was just living for like the maturity and the self awareness this goddamn episode. Like everybody was just like so kumbaya. Did y'all pop some like edibles or some shit? Like did Pablo cook with like some CBD and it just had y'all vibing? Cause I need more of this. Like the next time an argument starts on Chasing Orlando, I need y'all to go back to Pablo's All Right Network event. Be like, hey, remember we was all under one roof that one night and we was vibing? Go think of that. I don't need any more arguing, petty arguments on this goddamn show. So please and thank you. Um, Kelly's just like a matador. Um, I said a lot of growth and self accountability this episode. Reach for Jesus, as Mama Callie would say. I feel like that's why this episode was so positive. Look what happened. Like you're reaching for Jesus, no shade, and you're getting positivity, you're getting growth, and you're getting maturity. Um, as the scene continues, Pablo kind of gives like the group their flowers. Just kind of, I think Pablo is the show kind of centered around Pablo. So like in Atlanta, I feel like the group is kind of centered like around Twix, and then in LA, the show is kind of centered like around Andre and like King Payne. I feel like Pablo might be who this franchise is like circled around. If it's not, he's kind of taking the lead. And like I'm kind of iffy on Pablo, but I will say I like that he's taking to the initiative to kind of have the group be more. I guess it's like one unit, kind of encouraging the group to kind of reach out to check on each other. Like he says, we're all going through the same shit, or we're all going through some shit. It could be the same shit. So like, I don't want y'all to like trauma bond, but it like bonding and like getting to know each other so that y'all can continue having these moments. I get like what he was trying to say. Like the All Right event was, it was stellar. One for the books, honestly. Um, I did want to note shout out to the friend of the group. I believe his name was Juan, who kind of um followed Callie to, I believe it was a bedroom, and kind of like gave him solace when Callie broke down about his mom's health. So um I just really love this episode. Everybody was so self-aware. Nobody was there was no ego this episode. That is a fucking first. Like there was no ego like this episode. I guess during like Pablo and Remini's like sit down, Pablo felt like Remy was like kind of throwing shade, a little bit of shade or whatever. But I'm like, if y'all kind of previously had beef, I'm gonna throw a little bit of daggers. Like, especially if we're gonna work on like, it's not gonna be anything like malicious or like evil, but I'm gonna throw a little light shade. So, like I said in my opening, like the light shade, I could live for it. It's just the that other shit that I just don't be fucking with. It's Cocoa Puffs. I said Miss Cocoa Puffs. My bad. Cocoa Puffs. I like Gemini films too, but Chasing is just giving the adult grown up TV. I agree. Um, I agree. I could go when I think of reality TV. I think of I think of Flavor of Love. I think of Charm School. I think of Real World, and I'm talking about 90s Real World, baby. Real World up until maybe 2004, 2005. Road Rules. So I feel like a lot of these web series or reality shows is missing like that kind of spark where people wanted to make a name for themselves, but they weren't thirsty for like fame, and they weren't selling them souls and being faux or inauthentic to kind of gain stardom. I feel like a lot of people are stuck on being viral instead of like having longevity in this industry or in this field. It's very unfortunate. I kind of feel like chasing, there are a couple of people who just come on and it's like, oh, like go do something. But this cast, especially like this episode, I feel like are they get the purpose of their platform. At least this episode kind of shows like a lot of them get the purpose of the platform. Like the fact that Max and Marlo able to be in the same room and following like the blow up, they just kind of like ignored each other. So I live for that because like y'all going at each other would have ruined the event, and it would have been like for what. So um more of that, less drama, um more more adult shit, more mature shit. I'm living for that. See, I was looking at the pants the whole time, and they like, I'm like, Callie, baby, you can go put some helium in these damn pants and literally just float through the motherfucking night. That's what it was giving, like hot air balloon pants. That's what it was giving. Um, I live for Cali though. Absolutely live for Cali. Ooh, Tila Tequila. Tila Tequila was a fucking mess. Tila Tequila was yeah, Tila Tequila was a goddamn mess. I I watched like one season of that shit. I'm sorry, my phone going off. I'm trying to do business, and the people just so my bad, y'all. But yeah, Tila Tequila was a goddamn mess. Um, motherfucking Cali and them goddamn parents just got me flabbergasted. I live for Cali though. Live for goddamn Cali. But it was cool to see Cali and Fabio make amends and kind of just keep it pushing through the night. Like this was the first event that there was no drama, no arguing, no drinks were thrown. They kind of just closed the night off on like a positive note, toasted. They toast and that was like pretty much it. Like I live for events like this. I live for the atmosphere that the group had in the scene. So shout out to Chasing Orlando, and again shout out to Chasing Production for like this episode because this episode was a shit. Next up, um, Fabio and his homeboy. So Fabio goes back to I believe it was Tampa. To meet up with his friend that he's known for like a decade. And when I say friend, like I don't that's another thing that's kind of like missing in reality TV show. When people are like, "Oh, like we're friends," and it's like, "Oh, we've only been hanging around each other for like 2 years." And it's like, y'all are friends, but like, baby, you bringing some a friend on the screen. I would like to know somebody that's like knows the actual you, who really knows you. Like, anywho, so I found this enjoyable. Again, I kind of feel like we got a little bit more self-awareness, a little bit of vulnerability, which I always live for because it shows like these personalities are human, and that they have emotions and they can be relatable. So, this scene pretty much Fabio just talked about finding a self-acceptance and just being comfortable with his sexuality, which I feel like is relatable for a lot of queer people. It's like something that I used to struggle with, like being accepted and it's like being comfortable in my sexuality, which it kind of not really struck me as odd, but to hear somebody like Fabio, who is I think attractive, and I'm pretty sure like a lot of people find some like him attractive. To hear somebody of like his stature, be like, oh, like I kind of doubted myself. I didn't think I was attractive. It's like somebody with like low self-esteem could relate and be like, damn, like somebody like that handsome suffers from the same shit that I'm going through. So I really enjoyed this scene. This scene and then the this scene and then I feel like a little bit of Pablo and Remy's scene should be what's the word I'm looking for? Blueprint. Should be blueprint for more like queer content. I feel like I think Damon said this. A lot of people kind of categorize queers as like being catty and like jealous and I guess manipulative and vengeful. Like this episode was literally contrast opposite of that. So I feel like this scene particularly um is relatable and it should be shown in like more web series. It should be shown in like more queer content movies, like television shows, because these topics and conversations are relatable and this is like shit that even like hetero people go through. So I enjoyed the scene. I like that Fabio's friend kind of like spoke confidence into him and it kind of goes back to what I said about Marlo, like this cast having like a dope ass support system. Like Fabio having like a support system with his bro, and then Marlo having like support system with her, like I guess maternal family, which I know a lot of queer black people don't have that because it's like you come out, you kind of shun, and then like if you transition, it's like you pretty much get like the axe. So to see like this cast just have like people just pour love and support into them is always dope because there are people out there who don't have that. So I wish there were more scenes like this so people do know like if you feel alone, like you're not, there's always somebody who can relate to you, and there's always somebody who's willing to kind of just like lean in, lend an ear or shoulder for you to like vent or like to cry on. So scenes like this, I feel like are very important in the community and just for just queer people in general, baby. I love this goddamn scene. Shout out to Fabio's friend. Forgot his name, but yeah, shout out to his friend. We need more friends like that. Supportive, talk your friends off the edge, people. Like I feel like that's what Pablo is kind of trying to get this cast to do. Is kind of like check in on your friends, make sure they're okay. Um, always make time for people that care about you. Because if they make time for you, you can make time for them. So I kind of feel like I like that Pablo is kind of trying to like reiterate that, like check on your friends, check on your friends, check on your friends. So shout out to the friends who are supportive friends and that check in on their friends and make time for their friends. We love you guys. Thank you. Baby, yes. Goddamn motherfucking chasing. Goddamn Orlando, baby. Mind you, I'm a might be like a little bit of self drag, but this is like the first review I've done, and I'm like, sober. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that because I don't think I've done. Baby, I made that. I just made that sound like I have a drug problem. That's crazy. I just made that sound like I have a substance problem. So you know, I 420 baby. Like I'm either smoking my pen or my blunt, but yeah, I'm sober. So I guess it's best to have an episode this positive and me be not inebriated because I would be all over the goddamn place. So, speaking, and this is no shade to Remy, speaking of all over the goddamn place, baby, Mark Kelly Remini. A lot was revealed in this goddamn sit down. Um, I'm also upset that Chasing Atlanta is over. I thought like there was a post in that they might be returning later this year. Maybe it's the end of the year and Chasing Orlando is airing. So let's keep our fingers crossed for Chasing Atlanta because honestly, I miss Twix, I miss Kendra, I miss Willa, I miss Cassadine, I miss Dom, I miss Tag. Like I miss the group, I miss the gang. So yes, shout out to Chasing Atlanta. Like I definitely need them back on my television screen like ASAP. Like Mark. Okay, so that was Fabio's brother's name, Marquise. So yeah, shout out to all the friends like Marquise, baby, because we stand a supportive friend, stand a goddamn supportive friend. Um, so I forgot why they ended, but I remember the Chasing Atlanta Forever, and that was supposed to be like the last season, and then was it like Chasing Reality Instagram maybe dropped like a teaser or like a hint that they're possibly filming like a new season of like Chasing Atlanta. I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. So don't quote me on that, but I could have sworn that I saw like a post saying that like Chasing Atlanta was possibly returning. Um again, don't quote me on that. I'm probably wrong. But Remini, Callie, and Mark Margiela. So they sit down. Um I guess the day drink, a little drink session, which I'm not mad at, baby. I like the energy in this scene. Like they kind of regurgitated the pool drama, but they kept the drama short. They was like, this is what happened. Homeboy was wilding, and then they were on to like the next topic. So I was like, thank God, because some people will literally drag out shit that we know for like 40 minutes, and then don't be adding any new information. So, one thing that I did note on this scene was Mark. He's like telling the confessional, like, oh, I'm very vocal about like B Baby and him, his lack of responsibility for his friends. I'm like, okay, Like, does Brian know you feel this way, baby? Because that's all that matters. Like, I don't give a fuck about you being vocal about this. Go tell Brian. Shit. Like, I don't know. It just is weird. Like, I'm vocal. Like, girl, good for you. Like, go tell this nigga. Anywho, um, the scene continues, and kind of what I found out because I'm not on Facebook. Um, scene continues, and Rem and I kind of spills on what's been going on in like their world. So, I guess around the time that this scene was filming, Remy had recently split from their partner, um, that white man with them cornrows. And the split sounds nasty. So it sounds like there were allegations of domestic violence kind of posted to Facebook. And I just know that that's unfortunate because I know Remy has a whole life and just workaholic in Orlando. So like to hear like that him and his partner became or him and his ex partner like became physical was unfortunate. Again, I don't want to keep like recycling using the same damn word, but it sucked to hear that. Um one because like domestic violence is always a fucked up situation, but Damon and I recently reviewed a movie where it kind of spoke on or touched on like domestic violence. So, two queer men in a relationship and one is being beat or they're beating each other. It's like, how do you like how do you kind of like handle that? Like you go to the police and like, oh, like my boyfriend is abusing me or he's assaulting me. Like they might shun you like you're a guy, defend yourself or some shit like that. So it sucks that they put their hands on each other. I don't really know the story. Like Remy kind of alluded to something going on outside of. It was just a lot of shit going on. It sucks that DV was it escalated to that, but I think it also really sucks that the partner was like that vengeful to post everything um on Facebook to kind of tarnish like Remini's character and reputation. Um, no shade, baby. Leave them colonizers alone. Especially in Trump's America, leave them white people alone. Like you interracially date, you do that. Good for you. But no. Trump's America, absolutely not. Anybody's America, pretty much. No, not for me. Each his own, but again, it's good to see Remy bounce back, and it's good to see again support. I feel like this episode was heavy on support, but very definitely heavy on support. But it's good to see like Mark and Callie support him and kind of get his head in like a better place. Because I know a breakup to be with somebody that long and to you cared about him enough to introduce him to the chasing world, like it's just good to have a support system that like Callie and Mark are trying to put it Remy's head in like a better spot to pull them out of that funk. So shout out to that. It's unfortunate. It sucks that they had a breakup. Um but yeah, shout out to Remy for just being a workaholic that they are. Again, shout out to Mark and Callie for just being there. Mark, you and your eyebrows go tell Brian, be baby, how you feel about him not really controlling his friend or whatever. Cause baby girl, you telling the camera professional like you want us to give you a cookie or some shit. Anywho, next scene, baby, Marlo K. Marlo K has dinner with her family. Now, this scene I enjoyed it. I ain't New North from. Like I kind of like I said, I'm on the fence about Marlo. Um, ooh, Chasing Forever was the end of Chasing Atlanta. My goodness. Now I'm talking about Marlo, and then I'm reading these comments, and I'm backtracking because I was not aware of that. I mean, I was kind of aware, not kind of. I was aware, but I thought, thought Chasing Atlanta was coming back. I guess not. I guess not. See. Yeah, Remy spoke nothing but love on that white man. And I'm gonna continue to reiterate the fact that he is a white man with cornrows. And I feel like he sat between Remy's legs to get his hair braided. That's the real fuck part right there. That's the real fuck part right there. And I know he greased that man's scalp. Ugh, terrible. Um, Not to say that DV doesn't happen, but it's hard to believe that Remy is beating his ex, and then this regime. I'm definitely behind my black people. Listen. You see it. All it's gonna take is for a Karen or Kevin to say, oh, like this person over here, this black person over here is bothering me. And then what? We in the back of the squad car. We ain't did shit but mind our fucking business. So yeah, and this regime and this country, y'all see what's going on. That's why I told Yan, baby, be careful in them Chicago streets. Cause 47 got his crew out there running crazy. Listen, they tried that shit in New York. Them New Yorkers said, baby, Now, I wish they kind of rallied against the rats like that. Push them down rats out that city. That's what the fuck y'all really need to be doing. Push ICE out of New York and push them down rats out. Do that, New Yorkers. Please and thank you. Anywho, yeah, stay away from colonizers and 47's America, baby. Anybody's America, but with what's going on right now, stay away from them damn colonizers. Anywho, Marlo has dinner with her family. Again, a good heartwarming scene. Um, Supportive. Like I love that her family just loves on her and supports her. Um, I get to talk about what she's going on, what she has going on, like her 9 to 5. She said that she is healthcare, and she listed another job. While I was watching this, I was like, it's somewhere I was saying I'm just gonna tune it out. But now that I'm honestly going into this review, I was gonna be biased and kind of just skip Marlo's scene, Marlo and Rashida. But we're gonna talk about that a little later. I was honestly gonna skip both their scenes, kind of do a 2 for 1. You know how much I hit a 2 for 1. I was gonna do a 2 for 1 to combine their scenes and just keep it brief, but I feel like that would be kind of a little tasteless. I did say that I enjoyed the scene. Um, Something that kind of stood out to me is, and this is just between both of these scenes, with the scene with Rashida and the scene with Marlo. Trans women, specifically, um, more. This is more geared to Marlo. Trans women kind of they where Marlo spoke about kind of being in a situation where she was like talked down on. I believe she was speaking about her father, kind of talking down on her, yelling at her, and not really being verbally abusive. Um, and I was like, oh, like wow, that unfortunate. And I was like, well, you gave that to Max episode 1, and you didn't know him. So I feel like I'm victim blaming, and I don't want to ever victim blame or make it seem like, oh, like you've been through this, so you should act a certain way. But it's like, if you've been verbally abused and that triggers you, Marlo's words, I feel like you should have a different approach to conflict and how you handle conflict. Like Marlo says, like people yelling at her triggers her, but like she was like yelling at Max for like the entire party. So I was like, oh, like you should probably figure out a way to deal with like your anger or some shit so that like you don't trigger somebody by yelling at them because you won't want somebody yelling at you. So again, I feel like I'm victim blaming, but people, we have to break these cycles. Like Callie even told Fabio, like, oh, I came at you like that. Well, somebody was in my DM or somebody sent me a DM and that's not why I responded the way I did with you. But it's like, well, we gotta break these cycles. Like you are triggered by somebody yelling at you, you probably shouldn't. And this is just me. I'm not judging anybody because this is a judge-free zone. But we're adults. Like we have to find better outlets or ways to like deal with conflict, especially Marlo being like a professional woman. I would hate for her coworkers to see her on the show that's like chasing. It's supposed to be about her grind, her hustle, and then they kind of categorize her as like an angry black woman because she's yelling and she's like aggressive all the time. Like we just have to learn how to handle conflict better. But I just want to say I did enjoy the scene of Marlo, eating with her family. They support her, um, and they just kind of like seem to love on her. She mentioned like growing up she didn't have like friends, so she was just like always like around her cousins, and it just made me think back to my childhood. Like I have siblings, but like growing up, my siblings and I, we were like this, like with our cousins, like you literally cannot fucking separate us. Um, over time, that kind of drifted, kind of shifted. Personally, um, me personally, I can only take being around people so much. So I love my family. Um, I don't really communicate with them like I should. I kind of just leave that to like my sister and my mom. That sounds bad, but I guess for me, being a kid or growing up or getting older, you see shit. So me, I'm just about protecting my peace. So family or not, like if your energy is off, I just won't be around you. So um and that's about choice. That's just like not like, oh, like your my family cut me off, or it's like I cut them off. It's like I love them, but if you're weird, and I just won't fuck with you, and that's just that. So, it's good to see that Marlo is like super close and in touch and um cahoots, like thicker than thieves with her family. TC said, "Keep your neck on their knee," and I said, "Baby girl, listen, you need to put that down. Julio got you acting a Julio down, baby girl. That's what that is. Keep your neck on their knee." I said, "Listen, you heard what the lady said, but." I said, not them taking shots with the baby on her hip. I said, ghetto baby. This is Florida for your ass. I said, not them taking a shot with the baby, the baby on her head. I said, oh yeah, this is reeking of tequila baby. I can't. But it was good to see Marlo just being surrounded by her family. I'm kind of mad. I don't know what was on the menu, baby. You know, I'm a foodie. Anytime somebody goes to eat with their family, I'm like, what's y'all cooking? Like, what's on the grill? Like, let me know what's on the grill. So, um, get to some comments, baby. Some comments. Okay, HIV prevention specialist. Okay, so that was one of Marlowe's occupations. Period. So I feel like being in like the medical field, your demeanor, your energy, your aura should just be chill, like very mild manner, almost like not fake, but like almost like you want to make the patient comfortable and relaxed. So like if I go into get testing done and my specialist or nurse is somebody I see on TV acting a goddamn fool, so I'm like, baby girl, like baby boy, mm-mm. And it's just me. But um, yeah, that's just me personally. But I will say that hurt people, but it doesn't make it right. You can have sympathy for others, but they still had a little beef. Marlon and Max did, so I could see why she didn't want anything. Again, it was very their beef, Marlon and Max, is very what's the word I'm looking for? It's not serious, very minute, very I don't know. There wasn't even really like beef or whatever. So again, shout out to them for being under the same roof at um Pablo's event and not like really paying attention to each other. Um, my bad, y'all. My bad. Um, last scene. I'm sorry, I'm discombobulated. Maybe I'm a little discombobulated. Let's work to Lil B from Love and Hip Hop. Anywho, hey, shout out to the girl Spicer Original is in the building. Thank you for being here. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's going to watch this on the playback. Um, I'm sorry. It's like I'm trying to review and the people is kind of like people won't let me be. So my bad, y'all. So final scene of the goddamn show. Um, child. Um, Rashida and their mom. Um, I don't know. Why I just got so goddamn confused. Because again, I'm trying to be mindful of what I say so I don't seem insensitive. Rashida kind of left a bad taste in my mouth when she made the comment about Max allegedly being beat by his boyfriend. I saw in the chasing comments under this episode that she apologized and then she said it was like editing. It's like, girl, you said it twice. So, um, I'm sorry. Like, it it wasn't hard to watch. Um, it wasn't hard to watch. It was kind of like Rashida not being true to herself because she wanted to please her mom and her family. And she's like, "Oh, if we have a baby, you'll get Reggie back." And I was like, "Oh, like is that the person that you want to be, or do you do you think having a child does she think having a child I don't know. I was confused. I feel like Rashida's having a child for her mom, where I feel like mom just go adopt or like no, that's selfish as fuck. I'm not about to raise a child for 18 years so you can have a grandchild so there could be more kids in the family. Like, go put that pressure on somebody else. Like, uh, I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. I need to I know I'm solo and I hate to do this to you guys. I need to step out really, 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 really quick. I keep telling y'all the people is bugging the fuck out of me. So I'm sorry. I need to just step out for like 30 seconds. Um again, let me know how y'all feel about the scene. Again, I don't want to seem insensitive, but I feel like Rashida is taking a step back from who they really are to please her mom, which is like, mom, you lived your life. Like, I'm not having kids for you. But again, I'm sorry. This is just me. Let me know how y'all feel. I need to step out. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Hearts. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm back. My bad. My bad. Um, Rashida, Reggie, and the scene with her mom. I feel, and correct me, Rashida, if you ever watch this, correct me if I'm wrong. Audience, correct me. Let me know how y'all feel. I feel like, if Rashida takes a step back from their transition to become a parent to raise a child, there might be some resentment either for the her mom or either the child, because I feel like you've went through so much to transition and to become this woman, to become this person, and your mom kind of doesn't see you as this person. She still sees you as like somebody else. Like, oh, like what the fuck did she say? You gonna let those good seeds go to waste? It's like, girl, go jump on some dick. That's what you need to do, mama. Cause you sound like you need babies more than Rashida does. Like you sound like you need them eggs cracked. Like get out her business and go get you some. Like I hate parents who live vicariously through their children. Like, oh, I want grandbabies. Well, like, go adopt. Go get you a fucking goldfish or some shit. Like, do you know? Like, if I give you a grandchild, I'm gonna have to raise this motherfucker. I just can't up and willy nilly drop them off when I feel like it because you wanted a grandchild. I can't just drop this motherfucker off when I feel like it. So it's like respect the transition. If Rashida wants to become a parent and she wants to, remain her identity, like I don't know why that would affect you. Um, Rashida being like a transgender woman doesn't make her any less of a effective parent or any less of a parent at that. Um, I guess the grandma kind of wants the child to have like a father figure. It's like not necessarily like a child doesn't need a father figure to to thrive. Like there is some things I feel like a man should teach like a young boy, but in terms of like being a man, like you really don't need a man. I mean, you in the aspect you do need a man to like raise a boy, to raise a young man, but Rashida being who she is doesn't make her like any less than. So I was confused by this whole situation. I believe somebody in the comments earlier said gaslighting almost. Um, like yeah, you're wonderful as this person, but as Reggie, and then she had the nerve to quote the fucking Bible. I said, girl, let's not go there. Let's not fucking go. Let's not fucking go there. I hate when people do that. Like they quote the Bible to back up their to prove a point. It's like, girl, no shade. Mama, you on the thick side. I'm on the thick side. So what does the Bible say about gluttony? That's what I do. You want to throw some shit in my face in the Bible about homosexual, baby? You fat as fuck. So let's go there. And you mixing up your fabrics. Let's fucking go there. You fat and you can't dress. So get the fuck out my face. That's where we're gonna go. So this scene was cringe. Shout out to Rashida. Also, shout out to our partner for it kind of being able to stomach the foolishness. Um, I don't know. I kind of feel like Rashida it might be lost, and again, I might be overstepping my boundaries, but I kind of feel like this might be a slap in the face of people who are struggling with transitioning. People who can't just, oh, I don't want to get up in it. Fuck, you feel me? I don't want to. I don't want to do this today. It's like, oh, okay, and I don't live that life. That's why I say, correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but I kind of feel like it is disrespectful to the trans community who are like living in their truth daily and not kind of trying to accommodate for somebody else's. beliefs or like for their like Rashida said, if she and her mom or if they and their mom are as close as like they say they are, or as Rashida says they are, then there shouldn't be an issue with like the transition. You shouldn't see Rashida as less of a parent because of like who she is. But the mom blew me. She blew me. And I would kind of be mad because I was gonna call the mom ignorant, but she seems just a little ignorant. And I would be a little pressed. I would be pissed if somebody referred to my mom as ignorant. But if she was spewing ignorant bullshit, I can't be mad at them. I can't be mad at them. If she was spewing bullshit, I can't be mad at them. So, again, I'm rambling. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments. I feel like the comments is just going crazy. I see the comments is going crazy right now. I'm kind of just cause, baby, I was feeling the same way. She was having a baby for his mother. That's probably one of the things her mom wants is grandchildren, which is like, and this is why I love like my mom. I mean, of course, I love my mom. I love my mom with all my heart to pieces, but she is not pressed for me or my brother. So like, when y'all gonna give me grandkids? When y'all gonna give me grandkids? She's like, no, y'all young, you ain't got no kids, live your fucking life. She had me when she was 36. I'm 36. So yeah, she's like, baby, do what you gotta do. Like, no shade, my sister, I have a slew of nieces and nephews. So I don't need kids. I do not need kids. Like my youngest niece is like a month old. Listen, baby, I don't need kids. I don't need kids. So absolutely love my mom for that. Like, oh, when you gonna give me kids? Like she does have a friend and her friend's husband is like, oh, you married? When you gonna have kids? It's like, nigga, never. Fuck marriage. I eventually maybe want kids. Probably not. I'm pushing 40. I'm not trying to raise no kids till like I'm 60, so no. I don't want to be married. Cause I don't want somebody in my face all the fucking time. I don't want somebody on top of me, underneath me all the fucking time. I don't want to have to the only good thing about marriage is like 50-50, baby. Split bills. That's it. And if that's the case, I'll just relationship, my boyfriend. That's it. But I don't marriage is not for me. Kids right now is not for me. Like I said, I love my nieces. Um, but no, I don't want kids. So again, shout out to my mom for not like when you gonna give me grandkids? When you gonna give me grandkids? Never, never, absolutely fucking never. By the way, this is the first review live I've ever really watched. You're doing that great job. Thank you so much. I'm always kind of nervous about being solo because I gotta watch that filter. I don't want to like say some crazy shit and then again not be here to like correct me or check me. So thank you for that. Um, yes, girl not here. Rashida mama need to let her child be themselves. Yeah, this scene was cringe. A lack of not a lack of self-respect, but a lack of respect for your child. If you say you don't have a problem with who your child is, it should just be that. But like forcing a kid and then trying to force, not really force, but just put in a thought of like this is detransitioning, making that a thought. It's like, and Rashida was eating it up. I said, baby, you're brainwashed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But had all the smoke for Max, but she can't stand up to mommy. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. See, you don't have to have a father figure. You have to have a parent. Period. Period. Like my mom was a single parent. I grew up with my uncles. Like I had an uncle that taught me how to drive. Uncle who taught me how to cut grass, how to garden, just in general. Uncle taught me how to like tie my tie. So like my uncles were like heavily involved with like me and my siblings like growing up. And like my dad, he was there when he like wanted to be. So that's where my uncle stepped up at. So like shout out to my uncles, my family, my aunts and uncles for um stepping up to like help my mom raise me and my siblings, which I'm wondering if Rashida has any like I wonder what Rashida's like upbringing was like. Let me not get into in that, but like the mom just really wanted great. And it's like, why are you like Rashida has a sister? Like, why not go pressure the sisters to like have kids? Don't pressure anybody to have kids, but you're pressuring your child to change who they are so that you can become a grandparent. And that's so fucking crazy to me. Cause like, what am I getting out of this? Like I'm getting a child, but like I have to change who I am to give you a grandchild. Like that is crazy. Um, wait, I missed this because Sakar herself, a woman's son, in real time blew my. I did not hear that. Yeah, this baby brainwashed. Does anybody know how old Rashida is? Does anybody have her age? I know Marlo is 27, and that's why I say like we gotta learn to work on like our outlets and how we deal with conflict. Cause you at 27, knocking on 30, you cannot be bugging like that. Like, oh, thank you. I get that a lot. Like, I'm look younger than yeah. Maybe I still get carded when I go get liquor, and it's like I have gray in my beard, and they're like, "Oh, I need CRD." It's like, bitch. Anywho, um, yeah, this scene, the scene, it was in. It was hard to watch. Like we're watching almost like real time homophobia. Um, yeah, it's homophobia in real time. Um, it's yeah, and I don't want to sound like I'm in, but I just kind of this I feel bad for Rashida because it seems like outside from maybe her sister and her partner, like she doesn't have any genuine support. Maybe mm, I don't know. The mom says she supports like Rashida's transition, but it's like you she started quoting the Bible, and I was like, no, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. So, um, hopefully, I'm really want to see how the rest of the season plays out with like Rashida, and I hope she kind of, I hope she figure out what works best for her, what makes her happy, and what's going to keep her sane, because that's all that matters at the end of the day. Like, really can't raise a child if you're really like mentally broken. So children, especially newborns, require a lot of attention. So hopefully, like I said, Rashida comes to a decision that works best for her and it doesn't really jeopardize anybody's sanity or nothing like that. But kids are a lot of fucking responsibility. That's why I don't have them. Um, and can only imagine like that turmoil stacked on top of like the inner conflict that you have with yourself, which is that's a lot for one person to handle. That's a lot for anybody to handle. So again, hopefully Rashida comes to a decision or finds a decision that works for her, where everybody is like happy and 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 all of that. It's wild that just rethinking about the scene. It's just yeah, I feel like Rashida might be lost. The fact that she was like, "Oh, like I dress up how I want to when I'm with my family, but today, like, I dressed up like I dressed up like a dude." Like, and it's not like dress up, like it's not like a costume. So I don't know. Um, And then for Rashida to be like, did she say a dancer, stripper, or something like that? That's a whole lot of louder. That's a whole lot of louder. Cause when Rashida's not English, when she out of it, like I was like, oh, like that's a woman. Like, no shade. Like, yeah, but um this scene just kind of makes me appreciate the support system that I have and the mother that I have. Like she respects me and loves me for who I am. She's not like kind of forcing me to live outside of like my comfort zone. Like so anybody who's in like that type of conflict or battle, like I do genuinely like feel sorry because I can't imagine like the inner conflict that you must be having. Like you want to be who you are, but like you want to please make this person happy. So um again, anybody who is battling or dealing with that, I feel yeah, I genuinely feel so sorry. I feel so bad. Let me not say sorry, but I feel bad because I just can't imagine having to deal with that. But that scene was no more mommy time. Rashida's mom does not need any more camera time on chasing unless she's coming to tell the masses and tell the viewers like she stands behind her daughter's transition like 1000%, like 5000%, baby. Dario Dippolito on that shit, baby. This fucking fly. Oh my gosh, this. I'm telling you, when I catch this fucking fly, between this fly and Rashida's mom, I'm a bit tight right now. Like I just don't have time for the ignorance. Um, and again, like if somebody called my mom ignorant, I would be tight. But if she was spewing ignorant, like it just is what it is. So um, that wraps up the review for Chasing Orlando, fucking season 2, episode 3. Um, the switch up, the switcheroo, baby. Um, if I had to give this episode a rating, I would give it like an A. This was a stand up fucking episode, like no drama. Um, I'm sorry, ghetto. I'm sorry, that was ghetto as fuck. But yes, this is a stand up episode, no drama, like no arguing, a lot of self awareness, a lot of growth. Um, if we can get more episodes like this, um, I would be so here for Chasing. And this is just like for any platform, Gemini Films, G Status, Circle, um, down to Now That's TV and Zeus, like structure, like actual structure and empathy and understanding with just a splash or dash of shade. And that makes like a really good episode. This was a really good episode. Like the only critique I have is just Rashida's mom. But other than that, this was a solid fucking episode. Like I have no critiques on this. Like from the all right party to just the support that Remy got from Callie and Mark Margiela and like Fabio, like sitting down with his homeboy and like talking about their past and like them finding like their inner confidence and strength. Like this episode was outstanding. So I give it an A. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this episode. Give it a letter grade. Um, anything in this episode that I guess everybody is kind of like on board with the mom, kind of like side eyeing the mom. Um, goodness, like I guess like yeah, because that scene was crazy, and I remember like watching this episode this morning. I was going through the comments, it's like, oh, I wonder what like the mom like, what did she do? Like everybody's on like the mom. And she seems so supportive, and then I like let the episode play, and it's like very underhanded. Um, very underhanded. But um again, great episode. Great episode. Looking forward to the rest of the season. I want to say thank you to everybody who came through to chop it up with me on this good motherfucking Saturday. Shout out to the people who are going to watch this on the playback. Jan, Damon, I missed you. I hope you are safe in those Chicago streets. He will definitely be here next weekend, hopefully. Well, if Tasting drops on Thursday night, he'll be here Friday. If they drop on Friday, he might be here to review on Saturday. So yes, so we'll see you guys next week. You guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. If ICE is in your city, baby, resist. You know what the fuck to do. Fuck Trump. Fuck Charlie Kirk. It's Ken Carey. I'm Troy. Damon is not here. Thank you guys for joining me on this wonderful, wonderful live review. We will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe. Peace.